Good morning, everyone. My name is Desiree A. Gallon, and today I will continue the discussion about the academic motivational components that has an impact to the students' learnings. And these components are beliefs or perception, goals, values, intrinsic motivation, and extrinsic motivation. First is beliefs or perception. This is already tackled by Miss Adsid, but it has three key concepts: self efficacy, autonomy, and attributional beliefs. Now let's move on to the second one, goals. This also included in academic motivational components because in general term it is a target that someone is trying to reach. They envision, plan, and commit those actions to achieve that goals. And in goal settings involves establishing a target to serve the purpose of an individual's actions. Also, it provides a framework within which a person responds to events and result in a unique pattern of cognition, behavior, and effects. And goals can be short term or a long term. Short term or proximal goals is a goals that only takes a few days or weeks to achieve. For example, completing daily homework assignments. And for a long term or distal goals takes several weeks, months, or even a year to achieve, with a few sub goals that can be used to assess progress towards a final goals. There are two types of goal orientation: the mastery goal oriented and performance goal orientation. Master goal oriented are those academically oriented to learn and master materials and to demonstrate their competence by performing well. And this mastery goal oriented also defined in terms of a focus on learning, mastering the task according to self set standards or self improvement. For example, I want to become the best basketball player I can be, and that is the mastery goal. When you focus on increasing your skills, you're less likely to quit when things get hard or mistakes occur. In contrast, um, a a performance goal orientation focuses on doing better than others and demonstrating competence. For example, by striving to best others, using social comparative standards to make judgments about their abilities while seeking favorable judgment from others. So that are the two types of goal orientation. And the third one are values. Values are basic and fundamental beliefs that motivate attitudes or actions. They help us to determine what is important to us. Values describe the personal qualities we choose to embody to guide our actions. And when students perceive learning activities and materials with an attitude of it's not worth it, they will likely not consume efforts to learn, and the amount of time and effort spent on activity depends on how much students value the work, as well as I can do it self-efficacy beliefs. So valuing learning tasks implies students reasons for engaging in learning activities. Also, students perceive task value from different viewpoints, including whether materials or activities are interesting, important, and useful. And lastly, are intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation, which are the two types of motivation. Intrinsic motivation is defined as the doing of an activity for its inherent satisfaction rather than for some separable consequence. When intrinsically motivated, a person is moved to act for the fun or challenge entailed rather than because of external products, pressures, or rewards. So the root of his or her motivation is because he thinks it's fun and enjoyable, like self-satisfaction. And on the other hand, extrinsic motivation is a reward-driven behavior. Um, Intrinsic motivation engage in engage in activities to obtain some outcomes, such as achieving rewards or avoiding punishments separable from the activity itself. It is a type of operant conditioning because operant conditioning is a form of behavior modifications that uses rewards or punishments to increase or decrease the likelihood that specific behaviors will recur. So, in the picture, a boy in a white t-shirt participating in soccer because he thinks it's fun. However, a boy in a blue t-shirt, he is doing it in the sake to win an award or avoid punishments. So this illustration shows the differences between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. And this will be the end of my discussion. To summarize, in lesson 3.1 motivation, its definition and types. So meaning of motivation. According to Shang, Peinrich, and Mies, 2008, motivation is a process whereby a goal-directed activity is instigated and sustained. A learner's level of motivation is reflected in his choice of actions and the intensity of his persistence in effort. Next is indicators of high level of motivation is when a student who is highly motivated to learn enjoys learning and learns much more than one who is not as motivated. As a result, his performance are satisfactory. In a contrast, a student who is not motivated to learn does not enjoy learning and does not study unless pushed. As a result, he lacks perseverance. Next are there are two types of motivation, intrinsic and extrinsic motivations. So the role of extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation is necessary to develop the love of learning among poorly motivated students. The teachers uses these methods like praises, rewards, or punishments in order for them to study, in order for them to love their studies and learnings. Next is the lesson 3.2 academic motivation. So what is academic motivation? It is refers to the cause of behaviors that are in some way related to the academic functioning and success, such as how much effort students put forth, how effectively they regulate their work, which endeavors they choose to pursue, and how persistent they are when faced with obstacles. And these are the academic motivational components. First is the beliefs or perceptions. Second, goals. Third, values. And lastly, intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. And that would be all for Group 4. I hope you listen and learn to our discussions. Thank you for listening.